Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, my loverlies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least when makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Nothing I love more than a good bargain. Please discard my stained t-shirt. It's not even a t-shirt, y'all. It's a freaking other tank top. But discard the stained tank top because you guys know that I don't do my makeup in my good clothes, because when I do, they turn into makeup clothes and I don't need any more makeup clothes. Today is New Makeup Monday, and we are going to be testing out a couple of new things that I have had my eye on here recently. So I am again going to use the LA Girl Festie Bestie eyeshadow palette. This is on sale on Ulta for $7.50. Usually retails for around $18. I'm really impressed with this eyeshadow palette so far. This is the look that we're going to be doing today. Really pretty, very simple, but very, very pretty. We're going to use this bad boy today. And then also, I kind of want to do a little bit of a comparison. So I finally picked up the Maybelline 4-in-1 Perfector. I have mine in the shade 01 Light. We're going to test this against the e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter. Now these, I did use this already just to kind of test it out and see what it kind of like felt like, what it looked like. These are so incredibly similar, but the price tag is a little different. So the Maybelline goes for around $10 on Amazon. The e.l.f. goes for $14. So this is $4 cheaper. And honestly, if we're being very, very honest, I kind of like the applicator on the Maybelline just a little bit better. But we're gonna verse these against each other today, and maybe I'll call it Makeup Battle Monday. We shall see. We don't know, but we shall see. So we're going to verse these against each other. We're going to use this eyeshadow palette, and we're just going to play. We're just going to play with some makeup. So I hope that you are ready for a good video. I think it's going to be around 30 minutes. Maybe a little bit more, but not too much. 30 minutes. I am asking you to give me 30 minutes of your day. Hopefully, during those 30 minutes, I can make you smile just a little bit, bring you a little bit of joy. Make sure you have a glass of sweet tea and a snack. I am, of course, a true Southerner and drinking sweet tea out of a mason jar because it's so yummy. It is super early in the morning, and I'm wide awake for some reason. So let's do this. Let us do this. So let's go into the eyes first. You guys know I always do my eyes first. I want to talk a little bit about this eyeshadow palette though, because this is a review on this eyeshadow palette. This is what the actual color story looks like. Now, I do want to compare this color story to a different LA Girl palette, just because I think that there are some similarities. This is one of the newest releases from LA Girl. It is a 4, 8, 12, 16, 16 pan eyeshadow palette. The packaging on this is so nice. So you have this kind of holographic lettering on the front, which is so pretty. It's nice heavy plastic packaging. You do have the shade names and colors on the back of the palette, but it also does come with a little plastic sheet that I just kind of stuck to the mirror. So that's that. But this is what the color story of this one looks like. This is the Festie Bestie. And then I wanted to compare it to the LA Girl Main Stage palette. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite LA Girl palettes. I use this thing all the time. Same exact packaging. I will say that I kind of like the Festie Bestie packaging just a little bit better. But this is what the color story for this one looks like. So if we're comparing the two, let's do it like this. Yeah, that'll do it. So if we're comparing the two color stories, there are some similarities, but there are quite a few noticeable differences as well. So right off the bat, I see these two greens that look super similar, but they are indeed very different. The one in the Festie Bestie is a little bit more limey, and the one in the Main Stage is just a little bit darker. I would say this one is more of like a key lime, and this is more of like a bright kind of sunshiny lime. Very beautiful. I don't think any of the shimmers really match up that much, except for this one right here and this one right here. But they are different. This one has more of a green shift, and this one has more of a blue shift. There are some similar kind of dark plum shades in here. but swatched on the hand, this one leans more red and this one leans more purple. Though I do think there are certain similarities in the palettes, I do think that it benefits your collection to have both of them. I like this one because there is a little bit of a warmer section over here, so you get a little bit more of a contrast in this palette. There is beautiful depth in here as well. You have a really beautiful deep dark black matte in here, and then you have a super light shimmer. Now the only problem I have with this palette is that this super light shimmer is really chunky, like chunky monkey. Like, I'm just gonna tap in there and you see how it comes off onto my finger. It is super chunky and very glittery. It is very pretty on the eye, but you do kind of have to work with it because it does come off in like big chunks. I used it for my inner corner and brow bone highlight today, and it works best with a wet brush. So we're gonna use it, we're gonna play with it, but the texture of it is not my favorite. We're gonna go ahead and swatch some of the shimmers in this palette just because they are so incredibly beautiful. So this shade right here, this really beautiful bright kind of coppery gold, is stunning. And then you have a really beautiful like bright yellow gold, which is beautiful. You have this really pretty kind of aqua blue. So like, those three colors together are absolutely everything. And then you have kind of like a shifty shade in here. Now, it's not a true duochrome, but it does have kind of that like blue brown, blue red green kind of vibe to it. And it is very pretty. It's kind of like a grungy, like algae green. Very pretty. I love all of the shimmers in this palette. I just love LA Girl quality. I think their palettes are super consistent across the board. Really just some of my favorites. I do think that they are a little expensive, especially for a drugstore, but 9 times out of 10 you can find these palettes on sale, and like I got this for $7.50. I think that's a steal, an absolute steal, especially for the quality. And then on top of the shimmers, the mattes are just buttery and smooth and finely milled and pigmented and just all kinds of yummy deliciousness. So let's go ahead and dive right in and start actually using the palette. So I do have eyeshadow primer on already. I am using my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Rose eyeshadow primer. I am beginning to like this quite a bit. And I'm going to go in first on a big fat fluffy brush. This is a brush I got from Shein. Super cheapy. It was $1. Just a big fat fluffy blender. Any fluffy blender you have will work. And we're going to dip right into this bright lime green shade. This is called Lovin' Life. So we're going to go into her. It picks up really well on the brush, and it goes onto the eye beautifully. Super pigmented, but not pigmented to the point where they're scary in any way. They are pigmented, but they're buildable as well, which is something that I always appreciate, because then you can customize your level of intensity. And I'm just gonna kind of fluff that all over my transition area. This is gonna be a super quick, very easy eye look. Just kind of gonna fluff it on. So today is Monday morning. Mr. Hubby is at work. Shawnee Bear is still asleep. And I kind of have the entire house to myself. But I was so good yesterday. And I got the house clean and the dishes done and stuff before I went to bed, so I could wake up this morning and film. So I'm super excited about that. I'm also really excited about the fact that school is almost here. I am so ready to get rid of that little boy for 8 hours a day. I miss my 8 hours. I need my 8 hours. For my sanity, I need my 8 hours. So just a couple more days till he goes back to school. I think maybe a week or two. And he will be going back to school. I know he's excited too. He says he's dreading it. And I know he does. I know he is dreading it in some small way, just because he doesn't want to have to wake up early and actually do something, which I understand. But I think he's excited to go back to school and see his friends and all of that good stuff. Oh, by the way, nail check. I just did my nails. I did self-care Sunday. Oh, I got it in my eye. We're good. So self-care Sunday, I did a mask yesterday, so my skin is looking very beautiful. And I did my nails as well. I went for something super fun, but very kind of simple. So I just did this really pretty, guys, I got this nail polish at Dollar Tree for $1. It's this beautiful periwinkle color, and then I did a very fine silver glitter on top of it, and I just love the effect. It's kind of like this, it gives this iridescent kind of fairy vibe that I'm just so in love with. They make me happy. I love nails. And then of course I used the Sheen nails that I got off of Sheen Beauty. You get a pack of like 800 nails for around $4 or $5. Such a good deal. Such a good deal. So now that we have the green on, I'm going to go in with a crease color. I'm going to use my Profusion small, mid-sized, medium, fluffy blender. It doesn't have a name on it, but it is just a medium-sized fluffy blender. And I'm going to go into this really beautiful, it's like, I just love the tones that they put in here. This is more of like what I would call like an industrial blue. It's almost got like a gray undertone to it. Kind of reminds me of like a foggy London sky. Really, really beautiful smoky blue color. I'm going to take that into my crease. And these, all these colors work together so, so beautifully. I'm just going to take it into my crease from corner to corner and kind of fluff that out and blend it out. Start building a little bit of depth and dimension. So Sean goes back to school here in just a couple of weeks. I am so ready. I am so ready to like start through the school year. I like routine. I thrive on a routine. Routine is like my best friend. So as soon as he goes back to school, I get up early in the morning. I get him on the bus. I get Mr. Hubby to school. I have my cup of coffee. I do my workout on my elliptical. I film my videos. I do my thing. I'm just so ready for it. This summer was... money was tight, so we really didn't get to do very much this summer, but not every summer can be like magical and amazing. I really did try to make it as, you know, fun for Sean as I could, but I do think that next summer will be even better. I'm hoping and I'm praying next summer will be even better. You know, does anybody else feel really bad? Like I always feel like you always feel like you have to keep up, right? Because on Instagram and all that other stuff, you see all these people who have their stuff together. They're going to Disney World and they're having all of these very fun like family trips and this and that and the other thing. And I scroll through my feed and I always feel so terrible. I feel like I am just completely losing at life, right? Because we're not going to Disney World every weekend, or we're not taking fun trips to farmers markets and things like that. But y'all, I swear I am lucky if I can survive the day, let alone plan, you know, $1,000 trips to Disney World. So I just have to be content with my little piece of the world. I don't know. I just feel like there is this like there's this silent need, or this like it's what you're supposed to do, right? Like there are these rules that you're supposed to follow as a parent, and one of those unspoken rules is that you're supposed to make summer the most absolute fantastic, amazing kind of time every single year. And unfortunately, it's just not doable every single year. I mean, I take him swimming. I take Sean swimming and things as often as I possibly can. And we have fun. We played board games yesterday. Oh, we played Risk and Clue. Do y'all like Risk or Clue? I love Risk. It's kind of hard to figure out how to play, but as soon as you figure it out, it's super easy, and once you get the hang of it, it's so much fun, and I absolutely dominate. It's probably why I like it so much, because I am so good at it. It's a strategy game, basically, but you have your little army, and then you're supposed to take over the world slowly but surely, and we played, and I won, of course, and Sean gets so mad, so he's like, no, let's play Clue, and he likes to play Clue because he always wins. I don't know how. I think he cheats, but I'm not sure how he does it. So we played Risk first, and then we played Clue. We played Clue twice, and he won twice. I'm not like the world's most graceful loser. And he's not a very graceful winner either. So he won twice and had quite a bit of fun rubbing that into my face. Look how pretty those two colors are together. Look how beautifully they blend into each other as well. It's really not taking hardly any effort. If I wasn't talking, I would probably be done by now, but they're really beautiful. I love the way the two colors play together. Yeah, He's not a very graceful winner either, though. He likes to rub that into my face. But we played board games all day yesterday, and then I made biscuits and gravy for dinner. I think one of my favorite things is making breakfast for dinner. It's just, you know, first of all, it's super easy to do and prepare. But then on top of that, biscuits and gravy are just yummy. And if you don't live in the South and don't know what biscuits and gravy are, baby girl, you are missing out. They are so absolutely so yummy. So I make homemade biscuits. I make big fluffy drop biscuits. And then you make like a white gravy. So you basically just do your butter and flour in a pan, make a roux, and I add my sausage grease. I brown up sausage in a pan, and take the grease and use that with a little bit of butter to make my roux. And then you slowly thin it out with milk, and that makes your gravy. Lots and lots of black pepper, because I like a nice kind of I don't think black pepper is like spicy per se, but I kind of like that little bit of a burn, and I love the flavor of black pepper. So I put lots of black pepper, and then you put just big hot spoonfuls of this gravy over these fluffy, buttery drop biscuits. They're so incredibly delicious. So, so good. One of my husband's absolute favorite meals. But I made that, and my son won't eat biscuits and gravy. He just does not. He doesn't like breakfast for dinner. He likes breakfast for breakfast and dinner for dinner, but he doesn't like to mix the two. So he decided he wasn't going to eat. So I ended up making him some scrambled eggs, and he ate those, but he was hungry because all he ate was some scrambled eggs. But he was hungry like 2 hours later. Oh, I love that. So he came out and ate almost, those bags of cereals that you can buy, like the off-brand bags of cereals that you can buy at like Walmart and Ingles and stuff like that. He ate dang near an entire bag of cereal. I was like, what? And drank a whole gallon of milk. Y'all, I am telling you, this boy, let's go into the shade After Party. We're going to go into the shade After Party on this Shop Miss A brush. This is the AOA E132. Teeny tiny little detail crease brush. And we're going to just deepen up this crease, this outer corner, just a little bit more. Just really focusing it on the outer V. Y'all, he can go through a gallon of milk like it's water. I tell him he drinks like a fish. I don't know how true that is, because I don't know how much fish drink. But if they did, I'm sure that Sean would put them to shame. So ate dang near an entire bag of cereal, and then didn't go to sleep. Y'all, I am trying to get him on a schedule now, because school is going to be here very, very shortly, and I know he's going to be miserable getting up so early and trying to get back on his routine. So I'm trying to slowly but surely get him to start going to bed just a little bit earlier. And last night I was so tired, and I just went to bed, and he stayed up all night. I woke up this morning around 4 o'clock. I woke up this morning around 4 o'clock to check on the puppies and go get a glass of water. And this boy was still sitting on his bed. TV lights on, TV blaring, just living life. And I was like, go to bed. He stopped and jumped because he knew he was doing something wrong. I'm going to go into this really beautiful, what is this color? This is called Cactus. We'll go into this Cactus shade on an e.l.f. smudge brush. It is just a dense, flat packing brush. And we're going to pack this onto the outer corner. These metallics are so incredible. You don't need to get them wet at all. But if you did, it would do nothing but magnify that intense metallic sheen. They're so, so stunning. I'm going to put a little bit of Cactus on the outer portion of the lid. And then for the inner portion, I'm going to go in with, what is this shade? This is called Playlist. So we'll go in with Playlist on the inner corner. Just taking it from lash line to crease. And I'm just pressing that onto my lid and kind of tapping where the two meet to blend them a little bit. But you have this really beautiful like blue-green kind of color story going on, and I think it is so, so pretty. You don't know where the blue ends and the green starts. So incredibly beautiful. And then on my finger, I'm going to go into the shade Daisy Dukes. So that really beautiful bright metallic blue. Look how pretty that is. And I'm just going to pat that right onto the center for a little bit of like a halo effect. Just to catch the light. And I'm going to take that up above my crease just a little bit and keep most of that pigmentation right in the center of my eye. Just like that. I'm going to go back into that crease brush that I used and just kind of wisp this through the crease just to blend things a little bit more and clean it up a little bit. And that is basically the eye look. How pretty is that? Oh, I'm so in love with it. Guys, this eyeshadow palette is 100% a 10 out of 10. I think it is incredible. LA Girl very rarely disappoints me, and this case was nothing different. I really, really enjoy this eyeshadow palette. I'm going to take a little bit more of that dark smoky blue color. This is called Drip. So that drip color. And I'm going to bring that on my lower lash line all the way to the inner corner. I'm going to keep it pretty thick on the outer corner and then kind of taper it in towards the inner corner to help give my eyes a little bit of that like up tilted, upturned kind of effect. Just like that. Now you definitely can skip this step if you want to. I know some people really don't like to go that dark on their lower lash line. It doesn't bother me at all. I know it probably makes my eyes look a little bit smaller than they already are, but I do think the dark color really helps my eyes pop. So I'm here for it. I'm just going to take my Q-tip and a little bit of my simple eye makeup remover and clean up any fallout that I might have. Let's see if there is any fallout. Not really, not much fallout at all. These are really, really great quality shadows. I'm just going to kind of clean up my outer corner a touch. Clean up my line a little bit. And then we'll move on to the highlight. So I'm going to use another AOA Studios brush. This is the E124 teeny tiny little pencil brush. I'm going to take that into that super chunky monkey color that is called Blur. Okay, so you guys see that? You have to be so careful when you go into the shade because it is so super chunky monkey. Like if you're not careful, you'll take the entire pan with you. So really just kind of tap in there. Get a little bit on your brush, and then I'm going to press it right onto my inner tear duct just for a little pop of light, like so. I do like a pretty loud and prominent inner corner highlight. You don't have to go as hard or as heavy as I do, but I really like a nice pop of brightness there. And on top of that, it does fade pretty quickly. So I go hard in the beginning, and then by the time it fades, it's just the right amount of pigment. I like to do that with all of my highlight. I like to go hard at first because I find that highlight is one of the things that really fades the quickest. It's the first thing to fade on the face. So I go hard at first, and then it fades gracefully, and I can still see it at the end of the day. So that's really pretty. We're going to do a little bit of eyeliner. Of course, I'm going to go in with my Milani, but before I do that, we're going to use the NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick. This is in the shade Emerald Cut. And I'm going to take this on my lower waterline. So if you guys were wondering about the puppies, they are absolutely the most adorable things on the face of the earth. I love them so, so much. Each and every one of them has completely and totally stolen my heart. They are completely and totally precious. We have decided that we're going to keep 3 of them. You know, that's going to give us 5 dogs. What in the world are we going to do with 5 dogs? But you know, we just can't. We cannot even fathom not keeping that many, because 3 of them they've all absolutely stolen our hearts. But we all decided that we were going to pick one each, and we were going to keep one. So that leaves us 3 to get rid of, and all those 3 are already claimed and spoken for. They are, this weekend was their 3-week birthday. So they're almost 4 weeks now. They are so chubby. They are so chubby and absolutely just adorable. Spitfires. They are so spunky and full of life. Their little personalities are starting to emerge now. And you can see which ones are going to be like the cuddlers and which ones are going to be just a little bit whiny and needy. You can see which ones are like kind of like the leaders and unafraid of anything. They're so cute. So we named one we have a brindle one, and it has the most beautiful markings on it. It's black and white and gray, and we named that one Rorschach. And I think it's like a perfect name. So adorable. And then there is one. Have you ever seen The Never Ending Story? You remember the flying dog, right? Falcor. It's this really big, white, fluffy dog. Well, there's a very big, it's like the biggest puppy in the litter. Super greedy, chubby little thing. But he looks exactly like Falcor. So my husband named him Falcor. I never in a million years would have put 2 and 2 together, but The Never Ending Story is one of my husband's absolute favorite movies, and he was like, honey, this is Falcor, and we are keeping Falcor, and Falcor is mine. I was like, okay. So this is the eye look. What do we think? I think I'm going to add a little bit of a black liner to my upper lash line, just to help my lashes look a little bit thicker. I'm going to do a really thin one though, because I don't want to take away from what we have going on the eye. I just want to help my lash line out a little bit. So I'm going to do a super thin black liner on the upper lash line. Super thin, just like that, just to make my lash line look a little bit thicker. And then we'll go in with a nice coat of mascara. I am also testing out a mascara right now. I'm testing out the Essence Lash Princess. This is the waterproof version, because y'all know. Got the most watery, or the wateriest. Which one is it? I don't know. But my eyes are very watery. And if I try to put a mascara on that isn't waterproof, it's not going to end well. But I can say that I am very much enjoying this mascara so far. I really like the brush. Like, the brush head is really nice. It really grabs the lashes and separates them. I wish the formula was a little bit... Ooh, I just smudged. I do wish the formula was maybe not... I wish there was a little bit more like fullness. I wish it gave me a little bit more volume. It's great for length, but I wish it gave me just a little bit more volume. But other than that, I think it is a absolutely fantastic mascara. I really like the brush, and I really like I like the way that it feels in my hand. It's nice and big. It's not hard to keep a hold of. I like how long it is. I like the actual brush head. I think this is a fantastic mascara, and it's not that expensive at all. I'm so happy I finally broke down and just decided to try it, because I can 100% see why this is so many people's favorites. It's a really fantastic mascara. And that's just one coat. So awesome. Okay, so I am going to clean up this little smudge, and then now that we're 30 minutes into the video, we will test out these 2 different... Oh, comes off easy. That makes me happy. So we will test out these 2 I think that eye look is so pretty. That's what we look like. So in love with it. Let's test out these glowy things, these glowy foundations, shall we? So on one side we're gonna do the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, and on the other we're gonna do the Maybelline 4-in-1 Perfector. So I have the Maybelline in the shade 01, and the way that this dispenses is you just twist this and it comes out through the little sponge at the top. But I do like these applicators. I know that a lot of people don't enjoy the sponge tip applicators because they get gross and messy over time, and as much as I understand that and see where they're coming from, I like these applicators because it makes it really easy to apply them, like especially around my eyebrows. Always have the hardest time getting product right up to the line of my brow because I do my brows first, but this just makes that application so easy. And then you can pretty much blend it out with the applicator. And then you just kind of press it in with your sponge when you're done. So that's pretty much what it looks like. I think the shade match is really nice. Very, very glowy. I'm going to blend that out with my sponge. Just kind of press it in. And then you guys can see what it looks like on half of the face. Not a lot of coverage at all, but I feel like the way that it sits on my skin is just so flattering. It's glowy, but it's not like Tin Man glowy. It really gives like a perfected kind of quality to the skin without being too much, right? I think that looks stunning. That is beautiful. My redness is kind of like corrected just a little bit, but my skin looks very healthy and glowy. But now we're going to go into the e.l.f. And the e.l.f. I have in the shade Fair Light 0. I think it's shade number 2, Fair Light. And this one has a Big Daddy Doe Foot applicator. And I'm just going to kind of dot this everywhere. I don't want to use too much of it because this is pretty powerful stuff. So I think that should just about do it. That should be plenty. And then I'm going to blend it out with my sponge. I have tried to blend this out with both a brush and a sponge, and I find that I like the way it blends out with a sponge just a little bit better. It helps it to mesh and melt into the skin a little bit more, especially with my super dry skin. It just helps it to look a little bit more natural. Kind of blend it down my neck a little bit. And then around my eyebrow and into my hairline. Let's pat in the center to blur any lines that we may have. And let's check out the finish. So from side to side, do we see a difference? Guys, they're freaking identical. They are freaking identical. I am kind of shocked. So I was thinking before I tried this, I was thinking that the e.l.f. was going to have a little bit more coverage and be like more glowy than the Maybelline. But from side to side, there is no discernible difference. I'm looking super close up at my mirror. There is no discernible difference on my skin. They look exactly the same. exactly the same. I think the e.l.f. maybe took care of a little bit more redness than the Maybelline did. I think there is just the teeniest, tiniest bit more coverage on the e.l.f. side than the Maybelline, but there are pluses and minuses to each. I prefer the application of the Maybelline, but the e.l.f. has, again, a little bit more coverage. I think the shine factor is equal on both of them. I think that this is very sheeny and glowy. I think that this is very sheeny and glowy. I have come to really, really enjoy this. I didn't know how I felt about it the first time I tried it. I was not the biggest fan of it, but the more that I use it and the more that I understand the product, the more I fall in love with it and realize that it really does just give this youthful, healthy glow to the skin. Both of these wear beautifully under makeup or even on their own. I did do my makeup the other day using just the e.l.f. And did a little bit of concealer and things like that to help with any kind of remaining redness or anything like that, and it looked absolutely beautiful. It didn't like emphasize the lines and wrinkles or texture on my skin, so I am so in love with both of these. If you really just want to try out the e.l.f. and you prefer a doe foot applicator, I say go for the e.l.f. But if you like, if you kind of want the same thing, but also want to save $4 and like a sponge tip applicator better, I say go for the Maybelline. I think they are very, very, very similar. They both come in, I think, about the same amount of shades, and they do exactly the same thing on the skin. I am completely blown away. I think that they are 100% dupes for each other. Think one is a little bit more affordable. They're both still really affordable. Even at $14, it's still way more affordable than the $30 or $40 that the Charlotte Tilbury is. So either one of them, it's a win-win situation. It just depends on what form of application you enjoy better. But I think they look beautiful on the skin. I think they're just wonderful. They're just really, really great. So these are chef's kiss, fantastic. I think that the LA Girl Festie Bestie eyeshadow palette is incredible. It's on sale at Ulta for $7.50, down from $18. So if you're looking for a new eyeshadow palette, definitely go pick it up. But other than that, guys, that is going to be it for me today. I will, of course, finish my face and post finished pictures over on my Facebook and Instagram. The links for both of those will be in the description box below, along with everything that I talked about in today's video. Guys, please let me know what you thought about today's video. Let me know which, glowy base product do you prefer. Do you like the Maybelline or do you like the e.l.f.? Please let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That would make me very, very happy. As always, no filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting in front of my camera playing with some makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. Until next time, my beautiful loverlies, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.